Hi everyone, my name's Maya and this is my makeup, beauty and lifestyle channel.
Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you a tutorial on this look. I've had quite a few requests for it. As you can see, it's a blue and orange cut crease. I'll leave all of the links to the products I've used in this video in the description box. So without further ado, if you want to see how I did this look, let's go. I'm going to be filling in my eyebrows. So I'm just going to be using the Essence, can't really see it anymore, but it's the Essence Brow Styling Kit. And I'm going to be mixing both shades. I'm going to be mixing more of the lighter shade than the darker shade. And I'm just going to be taking that on a angled brush. This is a Palladio angled brush. I'm just going to be filling in my eyebrows with that. So I like to start off underneath my brow, sort of like middle way in, and then brush it up. And then I do the tail, or the end of my brow, and then I go through the front part of my brow, and then just brush it up through the front. Okay, so now I'm going to be taking the Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer, and I'm just going to be putting a little bit of that on the back of my hand, and I'm going to be carving out my brows, and then also sort of at the same time just setting the eyelids. I'm going to be bringing it down to my eyelids to set the base, or to create the base. And I'm just going to be taking this on a small flat concealer brush. I'm going to go quite high up, almost touching the brow, and then just bringing that down. And then I'm just going to be taking another flat concealer brush, but this is slightly bigger than the other one. And I'm going to be packing on more of the concealer onto the eyelid. I'm actually just going to be taking the concealer straight from the applicator. And this will just help to set the eyelids down and then also make the eyeshadow on top of it pop more. So the colors are very vibrant. Now I'm just going to be taking a clean blending brush and I'm just going to be pushing that just over the eyelids a little bit, just to help push the concealer into the skin a little bit more. Okay, so now starting with the eyeshadow, we're going to be taking the Tammy X and Revolution, or Tammy and Revolution Tropical Carnival palette. And we're going to be taking this orange shade here on a medium flat shadow brush. And we're going to be packing this onto sort of higher than the crease. Now we sort of want to define the shape and create the shape that we're going to want to cut afterwards. So I'm going to be packing it on sort of on this area just above the crease. So you're going to be blending it upwards. And then creating the winged out shape towards the edge, and then pushing that down. And then with no extra product on the brush, I'm just going to be slightly softening the very, very edge of that. And now I'm just taking more of the same color on the same brush and just packing that on top. So really intensify the color. Now after this, I'm going to be taking the Morphe 350M palette, and I'm going to be taking the shade down here. So it's quite a deep orange shade, quite dark, more darker than the one that we used before. And on the same flat shadow brush, I'm just going to be packing that slightly lower than where we put that other orange shade. Okay, now after this, we're going to be taking the same Morphe 350M palette and this orange shade here. So it's quite a lot lighter and a little bit brighter than the other ones that we were taking. And I'm going to be taking that on a round, sort of small blending brush. I'm going to be blending that sort of above where you put that first shadow and blending that upwards. Then with no extra product on the brush, just softening the edges. I'm actually going to take a little bit more of that orange shade and blend it out. We're just going to be blending it up towards the brow bone. Now I'm going to be taking a yellow shade, this one here. This is also in the Tammy and Revolution Tropical Carnival palette. And I'm going to be taking this on a short, fluffy blending brush, but this is slightly flatter than the one we were using before. And I'm just going to be taking a little bit of that, not too much, and blending that right on the outer edge where we were blending the orange shade. And this will just slightly brighten up and warmer, make more warm. You know what I'm trying to say. It's going to do that to the edge of the orange shadow. And I'm taking it all the way along the outer edge. Also gives a little bit more sort of dimension in a way. Because if you put on the yellow, it doesn't really look completely yellow, it sort of looks more orange. And also this eye look will go with any type of skin tone. So very, very pale, medium, somewhat tanned, and then dark skin toned, black skin toned, very, very, very dark skin toned as well. And then also people who have more like a yellow undertone, so more Asian people, that will also go really well with their skin tone as well. Now we're going to be moving on to cutting the crease. I'm actually going to take some makeup remover on an earbud first, just to clean up the edge. And I'm just going to use some micellar water. And I like to do this before I cut the crease with concealer, because it takes away any of the excess eyeshadow that you need first, because if you put the concealer on without doing this, then the eyeshadow mixes with the concealer and it changes the color. So especially if you're going to be putting another color which is completely different to, for example, orange. So the color I'm going to be putting on top of the crease, on to cut the crease, the color is going to be blue, which is completely different to orange. So you don't want to have a mixed colored concealer underneath. So I'm just going to map out where I want to cut the crease. I'm going to take the other clean side with a little bit more makeup remover and just define the edge. Okay, now we're going to be taking the concealer on, again, a small flat concealer brush. And we're going to be putting that right where we used the makeup remover. And then just bringing it down on the center of the lid. And then winging it out a bit as well. And then I'm just going to take another concealer brush. This is bigger than the one we used before. And just slightly press that down over the concealer. And this is just to make sure there's no crease lines or fine lines and that the concealer is even. Okay, right, now we're going to be taking the blue shade. So we're going to be using the Morphe 35S palette, and we're going to be taking, my lid came off, just don't mind that, and then we're going to be taking this blue shade here. So it's an all matte blue shade. You can actually take a shimmery one if you want, just depends on personal preference. This, I'm just going to be keeping an all matte look. I'm going to be taking it on a flat shadow brush, quite a dense one so you can really pack on the colour. And we're just going to be packing that on top of the concealer. And you see, when you put the concealer on before you put the shadow on, it really makes the colour pop. Oh my god, I love this color combination together. And then you want to take it right to the edge. Right to the edge of where we cut the crease. And then just bringing it out to the edge. I've actually got this really annoying fold of skin. I don't know if you can tell, like right in the inner corner of my eye. I don't know why it's there, but it makes putting on certain eyeshadow, especially if you do the inner corner eyeliner, makes it really difficult. I kind of want to remove it, but if I remove it, I'll look like this, which is weird. So, yeah, it makes me me, so I'm gonna keep it there. And again, just packing it on the outer edge, bringing it up. Don't worry if you look a little bit crazy, we're gonna clean that up afterwards. And then again, just making sure that it meets the edge of the concealer line. Like that. Now I look a bit weird, but once we've got the whole face done and the other eye done and lashes on, then it might look a little bit more normal. So now I'm just gonna clean up the underneath part of my eye. Just taking a cotton round like this, and then using the same micellar water. And this just is to get rid of any of the extra fallout that we had, and then cleaning up that line. This look kind of reminds me of fire. I feel like you get the orange flame and the blue flame. That's what it reminds me of. Either that or a sunset. And now for the other eye. I'm going to be moving on to foundation. Now for my favorite part. I'm going to be taking the Body Shop. I think this is their Baked to Last bronzer. And it's in the shade Golden Bronze. It's sort of like quite marbled. I don't know if you can see that. It's so pretty. And I'm going to be taking this on a duo fiber brush, quite a big one, and applying that to my cheekbones, my temple, and my nose. This just warms up the face. And I much prefer using a shimmery bronzer, not too shimmery, so it's like glitter, just a bit shimmery. Then I prefer using it to a matte bronzer. Just gives more of a glow. Especially if you're doing like an all matte eye, you sort of want to balance it out. Now I'm going to be doing a bit of contouring. I'm going to take the NYX Highlight and Contour Pro palette. I've actually emptied 2 pans in this. And I'll be taking the Cool Tone shade. It's actually slightly broken. I'll be taking this shade here. I'm going to be contouring with that on sort of like a round, sort of domed shaped brush. Not too big, but also not too round. I prefer using round ones than the angled contour brushes. I just feel for some reason it fits the face of my shape. It fits the shape of my face better. I actually stole this brush from my mum. She never uses it. It's a very good brush. I'm just going to be blending this upwards. You want to make sure that you really blend it into your hairline so it sort of looks seamless. I'm just taking out a little bit under my lip. Here's a little bit of shadow there. Okay, now I'm going to be adding a little bit of blush. This is from the Kryolan blush palette. Also, most of them are broken, but luckily not this one, which is the best shade. I'm just going to be taking this shade on a blush brush like this and blending that. The dogs have actually chewed the end of my brush. I have washed it, just to let you know, so it is hygienic, but it's a very good brush. Just going to be applying that to the apples of my cheeks. Okay, so now we're going to finish off the eyes. We're going to do the underneath part of the eyes. And we're going to take the flat shadow brush and we're going to be taking the exact same orange shade that we started with. So this one here. I'm just taking a little bit of that, not too much, on the brush and applying underneath. Now I'm going to be taking a little bit of the yellow shade that we used up here so the same yellow shade, this one here, on the same brush that we used before. And this is just a small fluffy shadow brush. I'm just going to be taking a little bit of that underneath, just to warm it up slightly. Okay, so now I'm just going to quickly apply some false lashes off camera, because then I'm going to be doing a separate video where I show you how to apply your false eyelashes. So I'm just going to do that off camera and then I'll be right back. Okay guys, and we are back. So now I'm just going to be applying some highlighter. As you can see, I've already applied my eyelashes. I've used the Ardell Demi Wispies, and I've also just applied a little bit of mascara just to blend the two in. And now I'm just going to be applying the Revolution Reloaded highlighter, and it's in the shade Dare to Divulge. And I'm just going to be applying this on all the high points of my face. Oh my god, so good. And then on the tip of my nose, which I never forget, and in between my eyebrows, which I also never forget. I never forget to highlight my nose. I don't know why, it's just a thing I do. And then Cupid's bow, and again on the other side. She's just going to do a little bit on the temple as well. On the temple? On this part. What's it called? Forehead. Okay, now we're going to be moving on to the lips. I'm going to use the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream. And this is in the shade Morocco. Quite a strong red orange. Oh yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. I absolutely love these lip products, especially the soft matte lip cream, and this is by NYX. Just goes onto the lips so smoothly, and they also have a really great shade range. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. Please let me know in the comments below if you like it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you for the next video. Bye!